yesterday we spent some time talking about Jayden Daniels. He's been named the starter. Everybody knew that was coming. Probably not going to see him on Sunday in the final preseason game, although Dan Quinn hasn't said anything. When he came on our show,
He said
that
were
was
still
the one
thinking
that
about
he was
it.
like in coach speak. Like,
Yeah.
I actually really thought our interview with Dan Quinn was excellent.
He's not playing.
But that one was coach speak. But I brought up some stats yesterday just to pump the brakes a little bit. And I prefaced it by saying I think he's going to be successful from what I've seen, but his average depth of target is under 5 yards in the preseason, a lot of sideways passes. But I guess this irked Valdez. Is that what irked you? I don't know.
No, I had actually I had a lot of people reaching out to me and that were tilted by JP's cherry picking stats from Jayden Daniels, and I started reading and listening to what they had to say, and then I went back and then I was thinking about it.
Did you cherry pick some stats to counter? No,
I did.
Okay.
Last season, we're talking about Jayden Daniels' depth per target. Do you know who was 31st last year in depth per target?
Patrick Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes. He actually led the league also in yards after catch by 400 yards. So his receivers were doing all the work for him. They gained 6.4 yards after their catch. In JP's world, Patrick Mahomes would be a game manager. He would be RG screen. He would be alarmed at the depth of target that Patrick Mahomes is using last season. So but no one would call Patrick Mahomes a game manager.
Yeah, they call him a superstar.
They would call him the best quarterback in the league.
One difference is he has a resume of success where he's shown all types of passes, whereas we're speculating on how Jayden Daniels is going to play. And the reason why I'm saying pump the brakes is, and I didn't create those stats as I saw Zach Kruger post it, the average depth of target is so small that it's like, okay, let's see what he's going to do. We know that Patrick Mahomes in big plays will execute and deliver. He's done it over and over again. That's why they've won 3 Super Bowls. He's done it short passes, long passes. He's done it with his legs. He's done everything.
It made me wonder, well, why do we care? Why do we care if it's a 60-yard drive? How those 60 yards are manufactured?
Don't. But also, that was one stat. The other stat was the sack to pressure ratio. So I don't know where Patrick Mahomes falls in that. I'm going to guess he's one of the best. Well, also like Patrick Mahomes, I saw this stat yesterday, was in the top 3 most accurate passers in the game. There's a lot of factors.
Well, then why is the narrative when Patrick Mahomes throws short passes, he's avoiding sacks, he's accurate, he's risk adverse. But when Jayden Daniels has a lack of depth for his passes, it's I'm alarmed. This could be a swing pass heavy offense. We're just cherry picking what we want out of the quarterbacks. That's all I'm saying.
Maybe. I think that, number one, the offense, we had a guest on yesterday who said that Kliff Kingsbury's offense is a certain type, and so far in the preseason it's been similar to Kliff Kingsbury's offenses in terms of the passing game, which tends to favor the short pass game.
So why is it not similar? So why is it not similar to Patrick? That's what I don't understand is. So why are you just not comparing it? Well, this is a similar offense to what Patrick Mahomes ran last year.
I guess you can.
Well, last year,
I guess you can, just because
if you listen to the analytics, Mahomes probably had his worst year last year.
Correct.
Now maybe it's because Tyreek is not there anymore and Kelsey's kind of on the downside of his career. He didn't have great receivers, but if you look at his total career for last year, it was one of his worst years. But he's also had unbelievable years where he threw 50 touchdowns. Right? He's a touchdown thrower.
I'm just putting context. You seem to be upset putting context on Jayden's passes. Do you know how many pressures he faced in the preseason, according to PFF?
How many pressures?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Not many.
0.
Not many, I was going to say.
0. Do you think that's going to happen in the regular season? So all I'm saying is we haven't seen a lot from Jayden Daniels I'm countering EB's can't miss. I hope he's can't miss. I hope he's bust proof. but we haven't seen enough.
Well,
And
the
some
other
of the
thing is-
numbers say that this is what the offense is going to look like. It
Well,
may be completely
potentially-
different. I don't know who it was. I heard somebody say, might have been on a show, that they didn't want to show any of what their
Yeah.
game plan is going to be, and they snagged other people's game plans. Did you mention that?
No,
one time
but
on Hit the
I
Skins?
did hear Keim talk about in practice, and McLaurin's talked about it. They're moving him all over the place in practice.
Right.
So he's lined up 27 of 28 times on film
Right.
for these guys, but in practice he's running
everywhere.
out of the slot.
Right.
They're running him all over the place. They're running Luke McCaffrey all over the place. So, and as to Jason's point, well, maybe Kingsbury is going to do something a little bit different than what he did in Arizona. Maybe
He's learned.
grown a little bit, and he has new. I'm sure he has new elements that he's going to add to his offense.
Mm-hmm.
They got a lot of weapons. They like who's the name escapes me. Is it Kaz Allen? Is that the guy's name?
Mhm.
Yeah.
They like him. They're moving him all. They're trying these guys.
They're trying
all
everything.
over the place.
Yeah.
But so I don't think it's fair to say, well, he doesn't throw downfield. The receivers only line up in one spot. It's very vanilla. That's what preseason is.
Also,
It's all
why?
fire-
Also, JP makes a point, and I don't understand this point. But he dings the quarterback if the receiver is open. Like, I don't understand that. Like when you
I'm
talk
not
about
dinging a quarterback.
no, you're
if
saying
the
well,
receiver's open.
where you say like on RPOs, a receiver's running wide open. You reference the RG3 offense all the time. Well, who cares if the receiver's open or covered? Shouldn't you want every single pass that the quarterback throws
Of course, but
for
we
the
know
for the
that that's not
receiver
gonna
to be
happen.
wide open?
But we know that's not going to happen. What I'm saying is we haven't seen certain scenarios when you're just throwing, and it may be by design, like you said. Great example on Terry McLaurin in practice versus games so far, preseason games versus practice. We haven't seen challenging plays from Jayden Daniels yet, and he will have challenging plays. Because he's not just going to have open receivers. He's going to have to make tight window
But see,
throws.
I've seen
There's
tight
a reason
throws,
why.
though. I don't know what you're seeing. I've seen tight throws. I think name 2 or 3. I haven't seen a dozen,
Yeah.
but I've seen 2 or 3.
He was a couple last week.
I see he's making quick decisions. He's getting rid of the ball quickly. Everyone's raving about his ball placement and his accuracy. He's making quick reads. He's super. I don't know. You're looking at stats for preseason.
Yeah.
Like literally useless nonsense.
And college
I'm just-
football.
Okay.
The sack to pressure thing is a college football stat.
All right, and the counter to it is Lamar Jackson had a similar rate and has been an NFL MVP.
And Joe Burrow.
Yeah. So, I mean, certainly he doesn't look great in the sack to pressure stat, but neither did Burrow and Lamar. So what I have to do with that stat then is ball it up and trash it. Just have to ball it up and trash
Well,
it.
here's the
And
other.
then just look at my eyes.
And just to react to what Matt's saying about that particular stat and last year, and that's a good comparison because he did have a bad year. But if a guy is just dinking and dunking, for 6, 7, 8 yards here and there, but they're driving down the field,
Who cares?
the difference is with Patrick Mahomes, they're scoring touchdowns when they get to the red zone. That's what he's always done.
Well, I think they're going to with Jaden.
They may. I mean, we have to
All right,
wait
we
and
gotta
see.
go to break. We gotta go to break.
But see, that's the difference. Mahomes is great because, okay, maybe he's not throwing, 30 yards down the field all the time now, especially since Tyreek's not there. But when they get in the red zone, they score
They were
touchdowns.
14th in scoring last year. So
Last year, okay, but look at his career. He's got 219 passing touchdowns, basically in 6 years.